Hello, Culture Matters podcast. We're back again with another episode. This is like the word, 30 days of thought, progression. I'm not talking from the book today, but here's a thought, um, which is here's a thought of the day in a sense, right? 30 days of thought. If you haven't gotten 30 days of thought, you don't know what 30 days of thought is. Don't worry, I'll tell you later. Let's focus. I'm going to focus right now on this word, which is resourcefulness. I want to talk to you about resourcefulness. If whether I'm the founder of a company, I'm the CEO of a company, and there is a distinction in behavior and or psychology and or tenure of the organization. If I'm either one of those, or I'm just anyone listening to this that works for someone and works with someone that aspires to be better tomorrow than they are today. Rule number 4 in the 12 rules for life: compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. If you care about who you could be tomorrow, pay very close attention, because I want to talk about resourcefulness. Now, in the CEO manual, resourcefulness falls under one of the 3 R's of the CEO, which is resources. The CEO, well, the 3 R's that comprise the CEO as a role, the chief executive, that speak to the executive presence, that make someone that just decides to start something, or someone that just decides to take a job, or someone that just decides that to get involved in something that is new and fresh, that we don't necessarily know what this new fresh thing that we're about to endeavor in, this new adventure we're about to endeavor in, is going to be like, what's going to be expected of us, how we're going to be challenged. If we're starting anything new, we don't know what's going to be expected or what's going to be a challenge to us that could break us. The 3 R's of the CEO are relationships, resources, and reasons. And we go through that in the CEO manual. We go through that through the episodes designated on the Culture Matters podcast, the CEO manual. So if you're interested in that, just type in the Culture Matters podcast, the CEO manual. Today, I want to talk about resourcefulness that anybody could identify with, whether they're in the CEO manual or not, but it falls under resources in the CEO manual, because part of the role of a chief, of a leader, whether we have the authority, which comes from title, and which really comes from title, position, standing amongst a group, authority. I have the authority to do something, or I have the authority to impose on others to do something. That doesn't necessarily mean I have the influence over others, the trust of others, the respect of others, the admiration of others. That doesn't necessarily mean I know what I'm doing if I'm in that position of authority, or I trust in myself, or I understand what it takes, what sacrifices come with it. So under resources, there's this idea of resourcefulness. I don't think I can be resourceful to you if I'm not present. And presence can be physical, it can be mental, it could be emotional, it can be broken down into different contexts of presence. Part of the role, part of the responsibility of part of any role is being physically present. I mean, like, meaning your actions are so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. So, for example, if I say I'm going to record this episode of the Culture Matters podcast to myself and about resourcefulness, and I don't share it with anyone, I will know I didn't do what I said I would do to myself. And that will have an impact on how I view myself, regardless, like even beyond my own awareness that I'm viewing myself in as a consequence of not keeping that commitment. If I include other people and say, I'm going to record this, if I tell all of you that are listening, I'm going to record a podcast on resourcefulness, and I do not do it, my actions speak louder than my words. I cannot hear you because what you do is louder than I can't hear what you're saying, because it's almost like blocked out by what you're doing. Resourcefulness is something people can't take away from us. It's something that builds up in our experience. It builds up in our education. It builds up in uh it's a manifestation of our desires. It's it can build up in a group of people that you have or it can be undermined and beaten down and almost like the air taken out of the room in a group of people that are not cooperative, that are not working as a team. Resourcefulness is it's a key component of leadership. The person in position of authority that is not demonstrating resourcefulness is undermining the value of their authority and is creating is sowing the seeds of dissent, the seeds of resentment, the seeds of it's like they're watering the ground with the future the future competitors, the future enemies, the future internal competitors that will become the external competitors. And that's an abdication of leadership. That's an absence of leadership. And and proximity, physical presence is a component of resourcefulness. There's a connection between the emotional and mental and spiritual buy-in of all parties, a part of a culture, a part of a business, a part of a mission, a part of a vision. There, there's a connection between physical presence and mental, emotional, and spiritual buy-in, because there's an infinite amount of possibilities. There's an infinite amount of possibilities, choices. Our choices dictate our possibilities. They cut off and they open up. And our physical presence shows what we value. Do we show up to work on time or early or late? Do we leave on time, early, or late? All of this tells a story and is a representation of our resourcefulness. How do we handle pressure? How far do we think ahead? What are we willing to sacrifice? Who are we working with? Who we're working with will tell us about our dreams, aspirations, personality, values. I think it was a clip of Elon talking to some interviewer about judging people's personality or getting an understanding of their character. And, I thought it was brilliant that he said, look who they're around. They might be able to fool you, but who they're around won't. Wow. What a sledgehammer. What a sledgehammer of a thought psychologically. It's of course, because who's around us has a relationship with what we are saying or not saying, which will be a reflection of how resourceful we are. See, if we're in a position of owning our life and taking ownership of our future possibilities of what we can create and what we could do, regardless of the position of authority we hold in an organization, what about the ownership you have of your life? If you want to take ownership of your life and be responsible for your goals and are willing to hold yourself accountable to your goals, in the sense that you're honest with yourself that you're not doing what you say you're going to do, and you're courageous enough to hear the feedback from the people, the no people that you surround yourself by, not the yes people that you surround yourself by, you will know that you're not hitting your goals. You will know that you're not hitting the milestones you set up yourself, and you in turn will be more likely to become more and more resourceful, which will attract higher quality relationships, which will lead to an ever increasing manifestation, or it's like manifestation in the sense that the results are going to tell us the results of our labor, of our word, of our action, of our interaction, of our sacrifice The results are going to tell us if we're on the right track or not. That's the self-awareness. And it's so easy for us and groups to lower the goal and to just, or to convince each other we're on the right track when the results clearly show that we're not on the right track, and something is wrong, and we've got to talk about it. We've got to figure it out. And the person in position of authority must be resourceful in the sense that they can inspire people to talk and to think and to figure out what the problems are as they naturally evolve. And they're not going to do that at the highest likelihood relative to how resourceful they are. And they're not, and our resourcefulness will have a relationship with our responsibility, and our responsibility will have a relationship with our self-awareness, and our self-awareness will have a responsibility or a relationship with our vision and our plan, and which will have a relationship with the advisors that we surround ourselves by or don't, the mentors we surround ourselves by or don't, the role models we have or don't, the desires we have or don't, the ambition we have or don't. Are we actually ambitious, or are we excited about the idea of ambition? Whoever's listening, you have to figure this out for yourself. Are you as ambitious as you think you are? Do you want what you think you want? Resourceful people put it all on the line and make it happen. And resourcefulness is a key component to the resources, or resources, to attracting resources, to bringing resources, whether that's equity, debt, third party, uh, uh, third party, let's say, associates in the climb of success, those outside of the culture that are loyal to the culture, that are of value to the culture, as well as, of course, the people within the culture, the people within the business at all rank of the hierarchy, at all levels of authority and influence and power and ability to get things done. Resourcefulness is the word of the day. Resourcefulness is problem solving. Resourcefulness is sacrifice. Resourcefulness is proximity. So like, there's a couple points that I want to make sure they're so damn clear in the end of this. And it's, regardless, whatever position you're in whatever business you have or are working for and with, our ability to be resourceful have a relationship with our physical proximity to it, which will tell us how emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually bought in we are. And sacrifice is the big S word of success, because we can't do everything at the same time. We have to choose based on values, based on value, what we want to do. And we may not know what we want. You may not know what you want as well, or ever as well as what the market will tell you what you want, or others will tell you what you want, because that's where the value in observing the results are. That's the value of being capable emotionally and intellectually, and from a value standpoint of having people in your life that are able to tell you what they think, tell you what no, tell you the truth as they see it, so you could work towards the truth together. And all of this is a part of being resourceful as a person that's not only surviving but thriving. So that's, yeah, this is a word of the day, resourceful, as I attempt to be resourceful or more resourceful to the organizations that we serve, to Culture Matters, further evolving and breaking and regrowing myself as the founder of Culture Matters, and with the intention to be a chief, or one surrounded by chiefs and executives and ambitious yet quality driven people. Please leave us a review in the Culture Matters podcast. Go listen to episode 675, Intensity, my word for 2023. Go listen to episode, I don't know what episode it is actually. in the 700s, which is the word consistency. Take a look at the CEO manual in the Culture Matters podcast, 30 Days of Thought, and we will see you next time on the Culture Matters podcast.